Hello, and welcome to Through the Monocle. Today we will be watching and discussing Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise. As always, I'm annoying, and joining me today is Grant Skillen. How are you doing, Grant?
Hi, annoying. I'm Grant.
Hi, Grant. I'm annoying. I don't really know where I'm going with this.
Good.
So today we are discussing Before Sunrise because it is Valentine's month, and so my hetero life mate and I here are sitting here and watching this wonderful movie. But yeah, next Wednesday actually is Single People's Day. One that we celebrate every year by buying ourselves boxes of sadness.
The day after, so it's cheaper.
Exactly. Cheap boxes of sadness. All right. I do have
That could be many things. That could be many things, but we're talking about chocolate.
Personally, my favorite is black tar heroin. What? All right. Now that I've admitted to that live on Instagram, we do have the Rotten Tomatoes for this movie.
Yes, please put this on the screen. That tomato meter's pretty good.
It's actually pretty solid. People seem to like this movie for some reason.
So I already want to say I feel like 100 is realistic because there's not a perfect movie. They're a very good movie. It's almost perfect, but there's no way a movie is actually 100%. There's no way it's perfect.
This movie's perfect.
No,
like in my mind. Today on What's Eating Ingram, homemade roast beef. And Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi?
Diet Pepsi.
You went with diet and you went with Pepsi.
I don't want 400 calories in a soda. Panera only has Pepsi. Okay. So Diet Pepsi. It was that or bubbly. I didn't really want bubbly tonight. I'd rather have the aspartame, even though it'll probably kill me. I'm trying to get skinny.
You're going to get killed either way. So diet or not.
So here's the thing.
I feel like the aspartame is going to kill you faster than the sugar.
Aspartame gives you cancer. I'm trying to get skinny. I've never seen a fat cancer patient. That's all I'm saying. It'll get me skinnier quicker if I have to go about that. Anyway, also, if I grow like a third ear, let me know, please. Aspartame jokes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we are watching the movie, believe it or not. Grant, you have it pulled up, correct?
I do. Yeah, I've got it pulled up on our certified.
This is gonna have to do for tonight because oh crap, yeah. Amazon Prime, our official streaming service, is just down. You know how it is. And if you're on Amazon Prime and it's not down, well, shame on you.
Is this movie on Amazon Prime?
No, it's at best on like Showtime.
You can actually rent it on Prime.
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. Anyway, so we're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch Before Sunrise. As always, we're gonna go on go. 3, 2, 1, go. And my movie actually started this time.
It's a bloody Christmas miracle, dude.
It's a Christmas miracle, man. It's insanity to the max. So we are watching the Criterion Collection version because that's obviously what's available on Amazon Prime. This movie. Great. Do you have the IMDb pulled up?
I do.
I do as well.
I do.
I really like this movie. I've seen it like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 times. I own it. I like the movie a lot.
Mm-hmm. We're watching his Blu-ray version right now.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We're sharing the Blu-ray across the country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Having hit play at separate times. I mean,
right.
Peak technology. Clearly. If I do say so myself.
Exactly. All right. The idea for this movie came from the backgrounds of both Richard Linklater. Mine just paused. Did yours pause?
Nope.
All right, great.
I'm
at 1 minute even, and it's still spinning. I'm going to swap to other Amazon Prime server. So just jump back to a minute real quick.
Bloody heck.
All right, we're running again.
Hold on.
All right, I'm holding on.
All right.
3. Are you at a minute even?
Yep.
All right, let me drop back to a minute even.
No, I'm at 25 minutes. Trying to get this over with.
Oh. And we're back to a minute. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're rolling. All right. So it came from the backgrounds of both Richard Linklater and Kim Kryzan. Linklater spent a night walking around Philadelphia with Amy, a woman he randomly met. Kryzan rode around Europe on trains, meeting people, and met a Norwegian man on the way to Paris, and ended up walking around the city all night, much like this film. Kryzan has never revealed whether or not they had a romance that night, and they lost contact. Linklater and Amy stayed in touch for a while until contact was lost, and he never heard from her again. It was not until 2010 that he found out that Amy had died in a traffic accident before the release of this film. Kryzan was never reconnected with the Norwegian man. Oh, great. What time?
1:37.
All right, swap to another Amazon Prime.
Yeah, let me go to Amazon Prime, the third. Yeah. Are you on Amazon Prime V?
Yeah, the VC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The voice call. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
3. You're at 137, you say?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, Chalice, what's up?
This is so professional, I swear.
This is horrid. Absolutely horrid. Our usual services are just down.
Oh, Chalice on Instagram.
Yeah, she is. Hey, Chalice.
Hi, Chalice. How are you? I can't see it, but how are you?
I'll relay when we get there. If she's even still here, who knows at this point.
So we have each had our video already pause on us once.
This is horrid. All right. I've got subtitles on. This is a fun fact. Richard Linklater left out the subtitles in the opening sequence. The couple on the train is actually speaking German. The man is reading in his newspaper how 70,000 women are addicted to alcohol. The script translated the squabble as follows. You're one of them, he says to his wife. She follows back saying he's an alcoholic. I have a reason to do it. I'm married to you, he retorts. Which is a lovely way to treat your wife. I think we can all agree here on Single People's Week. Single People's Month. It's a lovely way to do it.
9. Yeah. I've just hit my hat.
Oh. So, Grant, what do you think about this conversation?
I could have a friend translate it if I wanted to, because he's German, but...
Insert World War II joke.
Oh, I've made plenty of those.
Yeah, but not on air, Grant.
I could.
It's true.
It is in English, but the opening argument between the husband and a wife is in German. So kind of.
Hey, Chalice. Now on the other... Now, it takes place in Europe.
Bonjour.
Oh. They're speaking German again. It's lovely. He got her to a second location, guys. Murder in the
You want to go to
lounge
this?
car.
You want to go to this other train car?
Second location.
Take the comb and just. This is actually a comb for reference.
This isn't. It's a plastic fork.
I've got a metal fork over here. I was American.
Are you sure? So Delpy, who plays Celine here, is actually French. But she speaks such good English, they have to do this. And explain that she studied in America. Accurate.
Yeah. How's Granny?
Great.
Sausages.
What?
Sausages are in Vienna.
That's true.
Bye.
I hear they also have Prince Albert in the can.
Sure. Yeah, Madrid. He was in Spain without the S. You don't get that, do you? Or did you not hear?
I didn't hear you. I've got my movie turned up too loud. Give me a second. What?
I said he was in Madrid. He was in Spain, but without the S.
As we'll see later in the movie, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's how it works. It's like being a YouTube channel. No. You know, I realized last week we talk about this, or at least I do, as if somebody's actually watching the movie with us, and it's not just them maybe listening to us talk.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, they're making a little coffee.
Coffee.
Hey, I'm having coffee. Well, because he's a moron.
Because he looks like you.
Dang.
Roasted.
Dang. Like you. No, wait.
It has begun.
People would talk about. Oh. They're not. In fact, they're quite rude.
Yeah, one particular one was quite rude. You know, about 80 years ago.
Good artist though.
I wish he was a little better. I think we all do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Practical Parents.
Yeah, and art became something else.
I hear you paint houses.
Politics.
I hear you paint houses.
Construction.
Deconstruction.
Reconstruction. Shout out Ulysses S. Grant.
Grant, have you seen Moon Knight?
No, I have not.
Okay. The dude plays the villain in Moon Knight.
This guy?
Mhm.
This isn't Oscar Isaac.
He's Moon Knight.
I know.
Dipstick.
I'm just being stupid.
He's Moon Knight, dipstick.
I don't know the character's name, but isn't this guy the dad of one of the people in Stranger Things? One of the girls?
Ethan Hawke. Yeah, he's Maya Hawke's father.
Yeah, that's her name. That
Um,
was close.
yeah.
I
You know
can't
who
think of
Maya
her
Hawke's
name.
mother is?
I do, but I can't think of it right off.
Uma Mother freaking
Yep, that's it.
Thurman.
Yeah. Dude, as soon as he started saying it, I'm like, yep.
Well, yeah, because how many people named Uma?
Well, I knew it. I just couldn't remember right off.
You're like, yeah, you're right. He dropped the hose. That's the important thing. You got to drop the hose sometimes. You know, if you're just listening to us talk about this, you're going to have a very misrepresented idea of this movie.
Yeah. They were just talking, so
That's the whole movie. It's just a conversation. Not wrong. I'm only afraid of it 23 hours a day. The other one, I'm actually dead.
the other one you're asleep.
Like this. I can see an explosion. This is a lighthearted movie.
hmm
The screenplay for this movie was written in 11 days.
It's like I wrote my 5-page research paper in
An
like,
hour?
No, it was like about 3 in the morning. Not 3 a.m. in the morning, but 3 hours in the morning and probably about 5 in the afternoon.
No, it's late.
8
It was
hours.
between 3 a.m. and 5 p.m.
3 a.m. and 3 a.m.
No. Numerous references to James Joyce's novel Ulysses can be found in Before Sunrise. Both take place on June 16th, running into the early hours of June 17th. Both involve a journey around a single city, either Dublin or Vienna, and include a visit to a graveyard, which is interesting. I want to. Again, second location.
In the middle of night.
No, it's daylight.
It's me. Hi. I'm the one. It's me.
I hate you. So in 2012, Hawk told The Guardian that he and Delpy performed control improvs about what Jesse could say to convince her to come with him. Delpy mentioned Salim would only get off the train for someone who was funny and smart. We came up with a quote. We finally came up with this idea that I was a time traveler, unquote, Hawk said. And she was like, okay, I would get off the train for that. Which tells you if you ever want to pick up a now 50-year-old Julie Delpy, just claim to be a time traveler, she'll get off your train.
Steve.
Another reference to James Joyce.
My name is Jose.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yep.
You see the charm of this movie, though. Like, let's go to some places.
Go some places, do some of the things.
Do you speak German for a change? That poor bloke looks like you. I don't believe.
About the Nazis. Politicians. Russians.
Communist.
Just Stalin.
Communist.
They're Stalin for some time. Imagine that, man.
Wilmington Scout. I'm Wilmington Scout. I'm God. See, it's just a charming little film.
How they make it? We're on honeymoon. Yeah, she got pregnant. We got it.
Yeah. No, you bad liar.
Woman he met that day.
30 seconds ago. Well, I mean, it just goes to show the chemistry they have, right?
Mm-hmm. She's already 5 weeks pregnant.
Right. Exactly. Which tells you he is not the father. Oh my. Been there. Also been there.
With Jean-Marc.
I was Jean-Marc. I was Jean-Marc the idiot. I like the awkwardness of him like trying to play with her hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Sure.
This one does. Hit me.
I am now.
Next question. I would have lied.
About to get rear-ended by this train. End of movie.
That's what she said, but I'm.
Okay.
You set it up, man.
I did.
I was trying so hard.
Don't we have one of those?
That's what she said.
We do. But everything.
Men.
There's a lot of things, but
What do you hate? Yes.
you. Here are 10 things I hate about you. This has always been thought provoking to me. It's an interesting idea.
No.
No, if you believe in reincarnation, that's how that works, right? Where are the souls coming from, Grant?
Ask Disney. Souls?
Fair enough. That's Pixar.
It's owned by Disney.
Sort of. Oh, yeah. No, they bought them when Steve Jobs sold. Alta new, which just means old and new. For fun.
I was able to guess a German word just because of a friend using it. They're just Discord server I'm in where two people were German and they were just talking in German one day. I'm like, is that this? He's like, yes. I'm like, I feel smart. It wasn't that hard though.
And then you went to do math and you're like, never mind.
Did I
It's
talk
nice.
to you about my test I did yesterday?
No.
I got
Mhm.
one question wrong on my accounting test because it was about like employee taxes on their salary.
And
And I
obviously
accidentally
everyone should pay all their taxes.
no. Yes, that was a joke. But I accidentally added the taxes to the base salary instead of subtracting it.
Man went up a whole tax bracket.
Yeah.
That's
Only thing I got wrong on the entire test was that I just subtract or added instead of subtracting.
all right. So Richard Linklater is a big fan of
Awkwardness, because that's what this scene is.
no, is a big fan of oh geez, I just had this pulled up and I've now missed it. Kath Bloom. So he used one of her songs, Come Here, in this movie. The attention Bloom received from this movie inspired her to release new albums, including 1999's Come Here, The Florida Years.
Brother, lock in.
This film only grossed $5 million domestically, which is low.
Hmm.
Not really that low, but according to IMDb, it's low. However, adjusted for inflation, it's now the highest grossing film of the Before trilogy at $10.5 million. But everyone involved wanted to make a sequel, so they did, and did
What
it
was
again.
what was the budget?
$2 million.
Okay. See, like, is it relatively low compared to a lot of movies? Yeah, but if it's a 2 million movie and you made 10 million,
You also got to think like who's going to see this movie, right? Like,
yeah.
it's an art house flick. Also, Gwyneth Paltrow and Jennifer Aniston supposedly auditioned for the role that Julie Delpy got. Gwyneth Paltrow would have titled it, "This movie smells like my..." Please tell me you've seen those candles.
No.
Gwyneth Paltrow is a scam artist.
Oh wait, I might have. When Richard Linklater first considered casting Ethan Hawke, he thought the actor was too young for the part, but he saw him in a play in New York City and reconsidered after talking to him.
Because I mean, clearly, right? Like, he's kind of perfect. I can't show it because it's not
Yeah.
it's not censored. It smells like her her area.
You don't need to say it anymore, dude.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get in trouble.
I am. Reminds me though, I watched Clarkson's Farm, and at one point, Clarkson starts making beeswax candles, and he titles them these candles smell like my bollocks. It's like, that is fantastic.
Jeremy Clarkson, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, just gentlemen, because like a true lady would.
Queen Elizabeth. No, okay.
She was only 15 when she died. Rip.
Unless her soul split into 1,500 more pieces.
That's not the idea. I think you misconstrued it. The idea is that the original people had full blown souls, and ever since the souls have been split as it goes down the line.
Her portion of the soul is split even further, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah. She never had a soul to begin with.
Not a whole.
Not
one.
a whole. Not a whole soul. I'm going to mute myself for just a second. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose.
How dare you?
How dare me? Yes. Just the very much so, and I'm terrible at it. Is hilarious to me.
It's like, no, now I'm trying to say this is the great time to throw you off of here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, they kissed. See, Grant, when two people love each other very much, I've made that joke every time. Like we've had a scene like this every single time.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
I love how ugly that dude is. He kind of looks like you.
I was gonna say it looks like you, so
I won. He Big Pharma.
do you know the clip of Winston Churchill trying to say whatever needed blah 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 government? Do you know that clip?
I've never heard that clip.
You're about to.
No. He's got a point here. Like, thank you very much. Put the one, will you? No. Nope.
Oof.
Jeez. So beautiful. Oh. Say what you will, but Linklater can write himself some dialogue.
Hmm.
Honey, there's people in this town that have shot her for $5.
Yep.
They is. Grant. Catholic jokes. It's Friar Tuck. I know where your brain went when I said that. I saw the corners of the mouth going. Oh. Yeah. Interesting looking. That is a choice of words. Jewish. Français, English.
Looks like a palm.
Is a palm? Mm. Hmm.
Huh.
He's learning. Ouch.
All right, you ready?
Unfortunately.
That is the result of His Majesty's government.
That is funny. Did you take the clip and then edit the image over it?
No, I took that off a YouTube video.
Mm.
That did that itself.
It is. She wasn't even doing him. That's what she said. Jeez. 50 show. Mm.
Stardust.
Stardust. Gosh. Mm. Wow, that is nice.
Oof. I don't know.
Transitory. Hmm.
Huh.
Grant, that's a church bell.
Are the church bells ringing?
Bells will be ringing.
That's not what I'm referencing.
I know. What are you referencing?
She heard the church bells ringing. Standing there in a black dress, singing.
Oh, you're a Carrie Underwood fan. I forgot you were gay. Wait, I can't.
Singing.
I forgot you were a good person.
I'm not gay for anyone actually wondering.
He's not a good
There's
person.
no correlation between those two things.
There is
Oh,
very much a correlation.
Oh, you listened to Carrie Underwood? Congratulations. You're gay.
Fact check. Oh. No. Ouch.
Do you have a, I have a question for you, Grant?
Absolutely.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
I forgot you were stupid. I like
Best
this
version
thing.
of that song is the one where it just repeats that over and over. Have you heard that?
Unfortunately, I have. I like this this clip though. So she feels like she's old and about to die. He feels like he's young and is just kind of practicing life. Gotta watch out for them Quakers.
The oats will get you.
The oats.
Quaker oats.
I know. The oats will get you. They do. Unless you're just going.
No, I'd walk out the door.
About 45 minutes in, you're like, I'm not sure if I want to do this.
Not even that long.
It's blink once for yes. Atheism makes people so kind.
Yeah.
Probably not. No. No.
Throw her in the river.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I killed families.
Not just the men, but the women and the children.
Yep.
It's hard. You like this movie, Grant?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen who aren't here, I would like to remind you of the Rotten Tomatoes of Grant's meh. It's a good movie.
You don't shut up.
Yeah. Ouch. It's doomed.
Yep.
That is the result of His Majesty's government.
There's the word. Good luck.
All right, this is entertaining. This film has a 100% rating based on 47 critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. An occurrence like this is very rare for a film released theatrically during the month of January. That is a Major League Baseball stat.
Hmm.
It's just rare. Up walks the crackhead to hand you your poem. It's not unlike Seattle in that regard. What's up, Q and Mason? Welcome to the show. I didn't shout you guys out last week, so you're getting it this week.
Unbelievable.
It's actually not a terrible poem. Don't you know me by now? Oh, there goes our next 1-star rating for my terrible British accent. Don't you know me by now?
I got my bottle of water.
I was not sure where I was going. My British accent ends up being more of a Jack Sparrow eventually. Oh, mate. It's just what we gotta do.
The boy who lived come to die for the man who died but now lives.
Fitting, isn't it?
That's the one. Everybody give.
That's wonderful. I love how much of a cynic Jesse is in this movie. Yeah, Mason, let's go. Everyone watching this will now know you were here. Everyone. Right? Like, why are we saving time? This is 1995. Word processors are still kind of new. Zen monasteries still in existence. Nah, it's a crack house. Bonjour. Wow, man's just carrying around shillings. I don't even know where you find shillings.
Please check your phone.
I did the same thing. With all the time I saved by using my word processor, I
Invaded
made
the
some
Chinese.
grunge music. Whoa. I love how
That looks just like you.
It's cocaine. I love how even in freaking Austria in 1995, grunge was the move. They're like, all right, boys, lawnmower noises. Ah. Oh, Milwaukee. It's a domestic beer abroad. Not to be confused with buying a domestic broad of beer. Grant, that joke was better than you just gave me credit for.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even hear it, did you?
No.
It's talking about old Milwaukee. I'm like, it's buying a domestic beer abroad, not to be confused with buying a domestic broad of beer.
Hmm.
Dang it, Grant.
Rip Instagram.
What happened to Instagram?
It says it got disconnected because it was there for an hour.
That's weird because we've been doing it before. Oh, well. I guess we're ending live video. Love of my life. Yeah. This It's nothing I would do. I just described it in graphic detail.
So, anyways, I pulled out the knife. Did you just reconnect it?
I absolutely did. Are you with him? Yeah. See, we talked about him being in Spain without the S.
Hmm.
Fact check true.
He's married with kids.
3 kids. So who just broke up with you? I'm married with kids. As one does.
Hmm.
Gonzalo. Ouch. Which is like $6. I love how she's confessed to writing about murdering her ex-boyfriend. He's just like, you want to have another beer?
As one does. As one does.
I mean, yeah. My exes have been kind of crazy sometimes. Not that crazy, to be clear.
Not that you know of.
I don't know. If Kaylee was here, I'd make a joke, but she isn't, so I won't. Man is laying it on thick. She's right.
That's what she said.
She's right. Jokes. And that one man was Stephen Hawking. Fact check true. Also fact check true. You gotta watch out.
Down the street to Vienna.
Fact check true. Fact check true. This man is speaking no lies. It's depressing. There is an end. Keep in mind, she's the one that fantasizes about killing people.
Mm. Well, I found someone you could kill.
Darn. You gotta enjoy the rhythm. Who's watching documentaries on that? Grant, nobody wants to watch you belly dance. Things I never thought I'd say on air. We're really just period.
Mm-hmm.
Fact check true. It's a lot of dancing. I don't think my mom would come. Jeez. Again, homicidal maniac. Also, spider, not an insect.
It's Tarantella.
It's Quentin
Yeah.
Tarantella.
Yeah.
What do you call a snake that's exactly 3.14 meters long? A python. I deserve that.
I don't want to follow her.
Would.
Goodbye. There's a wonderful thing called doing both.
Or not. Daggum. That's rough.
Save room for Jesus.
I love that quote.
I've achieved a new level of human intelligence. Prove me wrong. Because like that one was too high. This is what I hear currently.
That is the result of His Majesty's government.
Wonderful.
I saw your text.
Fact check.
I'm gonna get you canceled.
So that is, I believe, Tim Sloss or John Sloss, who is an actor. He was a producer. Actually, he's a producer. He was a producer on a bunch of stuff. I think including this actually. Bring.
Bonjour.
This is some woman bullcrap.
Would you love me if I was a word?
Fact check. Probably.
No. Girl, are you crazy? What?
Remember, they had the whole conversation about how she was an old woman and he was a 13-year-old boy practicing
Mhm.
life. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'd be scared too.
He's like,
It's like, no.
ladies and gentlemen, hormones. Yep, I'm waiting. You could say that. Grant has texted me. I'd let her kill me. Is probably what he's thinking. And yeah.
Yo, dude, what's poppin'? Don't mind me,
What's up,
just
Brett?
watching. A ghost. He's getting pulled midair. Look at him go.
Rapturous. It's Nicolas Cage. What the heck? Starting to talk. Oh.
Because it did.
Fact check true.
Well, are we stupid or is it just hard to figure it out?
Very strange. Very, very strange. Rip. Nope. Never. There definitely won't be 2 sequels to this movie we're in. Yeah. Why do they? Why do people just hold on to things that are never going to happen, Grant? Why do people do that?
We
We dumb. Me dumb. Freedom! Freedom! Just ghost. He says we'll make tonight great, and in comes a violin and accordion.
That's called plot convenience.
Actually, literally called plot convenience. And the hours that remain. Yeah, quite. When you sprint away. See ya!
Did I send you the video of me?
Grant, you're going to have to be more specific.
I think I intentionally didn't send you this video because I don't want it ending up on the podcast.
That's why you don't talk to Amy anymore. Our
Yes.
conversations end up on the podcast. This is such a good movie. I wish we could like show it, right? I wish there was some way we could do that where we could show it and then be watching it. I feel like people would enjoy that a lot more.
I don't think I sent you the video.
I'm pretty sure you didn't. Hey, this is hilarious. This is one of my favorite scenes in movies.
Yeah, I did
Good one.
not. Okay, good. I'll just
Ladies
say,
and gentlemen, on the podcast.
somewhere in the abyss may or may not be a video of me doing an impression of Isaiah Pacheco's Running.
I love that you didn't want it to end up on the podcast, so you told everyone about it.
It's horrendous.
You're horrendous.
It is truly one
This
of
is
the.
funny.
Hmm?
It's a war crime, Grant. I know. You running is a war crime. And she.
It's truly one of the videos of all time.
You're truly an idiot. But I'm. She's over there stealing glasses. No, like I'm gonna cut it off. Your hand is payment for this bottle of
hand?
wine. Ah, yes.
Narrator, he did not pay back for the bottle of wine.
Oh. Whoa. You're just laying there, you're like, I wish it was Jean-Marc Fleury. No. Nope, because we're not seeing each other after tomorrow.
Totally not in 9 years.
What about 9 years?
That's when the next movie says 9 years later.
How do you know this?
Because I clicked on the IMDb.
Dang it! That's one of the coolest things about this trilogy.
And then I saw that the next one is 9 years after that. Convenient, isn't it?
Yeah. It's cool because they released 9 years apart.
Mm-hmm. I like on the IMDb how it has a wife on train, husband on train, guy on bridge, guy on bridge.
The only two named characters in this film are these two. Like they're billed that way too.
I just think it's funny. I have a question for you, Grant.
Okay.
If you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment,
I would capture it and then I'd beat you to a bloody pulp.
I just heard "Lose Yourself" and went Eminem.
Fair enough.
A woman saying what she wants.
Insanity. We should just stay awake.
Oh, he wants to, just more than once.
Yeah.
Just give it about a minute into this movie and see where it's at.
Yeah. No. Wow.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Heavy. There's vomit. Mobamba already.
On Mobamba already?
Mobamba. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I wonder
Hey.
what is happening. Notice she's wearing a shirt in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is important information for later.
Okay.
Grant, when two people.
I like how they're also just in the middle of a park.
Yeah, well, it's the 90s. What are they going to do? Whip off their cell phones and film you? Yeah. Again, notice she was wearing a shirt in that scene. Grant, notice, if you will, for a moment. She's no longer wearing said shirt. I wonder what happened there, Grant.
I think she lost her shirt.
See, Grant, when two people don't like each other all that much, they get married and have a kid.
Mm-hmm. Does he ever not consider just not getting on the flight and then going to France?
Watch the movie. The harpsichord. Pulls out iPhone. You know, Grant, in 1995, the camera hadn't yet been invented.
Really? Really, Grant?
Really?
So video existed.
But the camera didn't.
Yep.
Oh. The time they just videoed things with their heads.
With their eyes and their brains.
No.
By the way, do you see the guy on Bridge's last name?
Mm-mm.
Brooke Schwager.
Brooks Schwager. And apparently do other things like rabbits. Sounds like this. Mm-mm-mm.
I already hate you now.
They didn't get the horn from
No.
Wilmington's cow. Did you see where Washington has hired Pete Carroll's son as their offensive coordinator and Bill Belichick's son as their defensive coordinator?
Did they actually?
Yes.
I didn't realize
Steve-
they hired. I knew they hired Steve Belichick.
Yeah, they'd hired Carroll's son too. I forget his first name. Probably Peter Carroll. No. The scene always makes Grant cry. Rip.
I don't think they've hired an OC yet.
I thought they had.
I just know it's not Grubb because that was a rumor. Okay.
Wow. I gotta hop a plane. Yeah. Depressing. Later.
Later,
Later.
Spader.
See ya. Hepatitis, see you later. Gone forever. Aaron Hernandez. This is a good movie.
He just starts making out with this random girl right here.
Like, see
All
you in
that for
6
a drop of
months.
blood.
All that for a drop. See you in 6 months. You can see why this movie reviews well.
Hmm. Still can't say it's 100. Like,
It's a perfect
I don't know
movie.
how something's 100.
I can't think of anything wrong with this movie. I have no qualms whatsoever. And 100 just means everyone that reviewed it liked it, by the way.
That means everyone who reviewed it gave 100. No.
No, it means everyone who reviewed it liked it. It means the reviews on it are 100% positive.
Hmm.
At least I'm 99% sure.
I don't know how it actually works. but-
I do know how it actually works. Yeah, B pluses, A minuses, 3 out of 4s, but they're all
Mm.
yeah.
I want to give it a 49 just for the memes. Become
Roger-
a certified critic just to give it a 49 out of 50 or 49 out of 100.
Grant Watson says it was truly one of the great American films of the 1990s.
It's one of the movies of all time. Oh, lady,
Before-
I wouldn't walk there if I was you. So that grass has seen some things.
Roger Ebert, who was the critic for the Chicago Sun-Times and one of the greatest film critics ever, said Before Sunrise is so much like real life, like a documentary with an invisible camera, that I found myself remembering real conversations I'd experienced with more or less the same words. Gave it a 3 out of 4. Again, beautiful little movie.
Depresso espresso.
Depresso espresso. All right, there's the movie. And unfortunately, here's still us. No. Let me do the thing. There's the thing. There's also the thing. Hi, and welcome to More Through the Monocle. Today we will be reviewing Before Sunrise. As always, I'm an idiot, and joining me today it is Grant Skellin. How are you doing, Grant?
Hi, idiot. I'm Grant.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're Grant.
I'm good. How are you, Grant?
I'm good. This movie, 100% Rotten Tomatoes, 93% audience score. How does it make it against the Skillin review?
It's a good movie. I was joking with Grant at the end of the watch along, which I assume, I don't know if I edited this one into a review or not because I've been lazy, but we'll see. I was saying at the end of the watch along that I was going to go give it a 49 out of 100 as a joke to get rid of the 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. But no, it's a good movie for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you like about it?
I like that I got to make a few Eminem references for no reason.
I mean, technically you get to do that anyway. Most of the time it's just because
Yeah.
you're eating so daggum many of them. But
They call me fat. Well,
I mean, I am.
No, it's a good movie. I mean, the whole movie, like you have mentioned, and as is obvious when you're watching the movie, the whole movie is a conversation.
Yeah.
The writing's good. I mean, it's not written by George Lucas, so
Well,
that
they
much
still
I
don't
can
love
say.
sand. They opted for grass, right? Like,
Yeah, I can say with 100% certainty this movie was not written by George Lucas.
you know what was not written by George Lucas? The Howard the Duck. George Lucas was involved with that one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Words. Yeah, the writing is really good. Now, there's a debate between everyone involved who actually finished the writing. The two actors involved, Delpy and Hawk, claim to have rewritten half the script. The secondary writer says that's bullcrap, and the director says it's kind of awesome that people think we improvised this. So, who wrote it? Good question.
A person. It was written by a human being that may not be 1/5 millionth of a soul, but regardless,
that's an interesting, but see, like that kind of thinking is what attracts me to this movie. That's why I like this movie. I
yeah,
love
no,
the little conversations.
yeah, it's very like I don't want to say random conversations, but it's the type of conversation that could pop up if this were to take place in real life. And that comes back to I'll let you probably got the IMDb pulled up right in front of you faster than I can.
Don't currently.
Well, I'll pull it up.
It
then.
is based on real life.
Yeah. The idea for the movie came from the backgrounds of both Richard Linklater, the writer, and Kim Crazen.
who
I don't
also
know.
wrote-
Was it a writer?
She was the writer. She was the one that it claims that none of the movie got rewritten.
Linklater spent a night walking around Philadelphia with a woman named Amy that he randomly met. Kreisen rode around Europe on trains, meeting people. On one trip, met a Norwegian man on the way to Paris. And they walked around the city all night, much like this movie.
Which takes place in
Yeah.
Vienna, for the record.
Yeah. Linklater and Amy stayed in touch for a while until they lost contact, and then he found out that she had passed away in a traffic accident before the release of this movie. Kreisen never reconnected with Mr. Norwegian.
It's like Mr. Universe. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger,
yeah.
except instead of Austrian,
Mr. Norwegian. And
That's good clip.
we are canceled.
Yeah.
Was that at least good? Was it decent?
It was hilarious. Yeah.
Okay. So
Everyone
all of,
could do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, and Arnold Schwarzenegger can't do an impression of someone who can say the word California.
yeah. But yeah, so all that to say, the reason that it was such well written and why, like, oh, this seems like natural dialogue for this type of thing. Not that I've done it, but is
I have
because
done it. I'll
is
tell the
because the
story in a
two
minute.
people who have done it wrote it. I'm sure to some extent there was improvisation, there was some adapting by the actors, like to make it more personal, have their connection be better to make the movie work.
Right, and I think I mentioned there's a trivia factoid little thing. They talk about when Jesse's trying to convince Celine to get off the train that was some sort of like controlled improv. And so with that being some sort of controlled improv, they came up with it being he was a time traveler, and that was what Delpy felt would get Celine off the train. And that's always been one of my favorite lines, right? It's hilarious. Picture me as a time traveler. Paraphrase, picture me as a time traveler. You're looking back years later, you're married, your marriage is on the rocks. You wonder what life would have been like had you actually gotten off the train with me, and I'm saving you. It's fantastic. I've been there. I've done this. Actually, it's a fun little story. If you guys, well, Grant, if you don't mind me tangenting.
Go for it.
All right,
It'll give us more time in this episode, so go for it.
Over the summer, I met a girl.
Oh yeah, I did this.
She's from Azerbaijan, and I met her, and we went and we hung out, had coffee, and we just sat and talked.
How's the coffee?
Coffee, just off of UW's campus. We just sat and talked, and it was one of the most refreshing conversations I've ever had. Just meeting somebody new. Meeting somebody new is always awesome. It's really awesome when they're from a different culture. It's really awesome when you click, even though they're from a different culture. And so like we clicked. We didn't spend all night talking. We talked for probably about 4 or 5 hours, just sitting out there in the freezing Seattle summers where it's like 65 degrees. And we just sat there and we talked, and it was fantastic. We ended up meeting again, hanging out, doing the same thing. But it's weird how quickly you can connect to a stranger, right? Like it's absolutely fascinating. She and I are still friends. We played chess just the other day. Shout out to Hinge. Both times, yeah. Can't let her win. But it's a really like we actually talked about this movie. Like it's kind of weird, but like we did, and it's as someone who's been there and kind of done that same sort of thing where you're just meeting someone kind of by chance, right, at random, that you'll never have this opportunity again. It feels very realistic. Like it feels like a conversation you'd have. Some of like the romance side of things are a little off, but like the various conversations about the islands of monkeys and that sort of thing, like it's something you would have. Something like, yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah. So we mentioned they did not get any screenwriting credits. They did get credits for the later 2 movies and were
Before
nominated.
Sunset and Before Midnight. They got nominated for
2 WGA awards and 2 Oscars.
Dubgots. Yeah, and 2 Oscars. I don't know what the Oscar is, but it sounds important.
It sounds like it was for the writing.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I don't know what an Oscar is. Yeah.
It's a guy on The Office.
Boom, roasted.
That's what he said. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, otherwise known as Hey Jesse, and I'm already forgetting her name because I'm stupid. Celine. Are the only actors in the film who were given names, like characters.
And yet you forgot her name.
Yeah, I forgot half the names of the name people in the movie. It's impressive, but it's funny because then the other characters are wife on train, husband on train, who argue in German at the beginning of the movie. Guy on bridge, palm reader, street poet, bartender, guitarist in club, belly dancer, cafe patron.
Right. And so they've unintentionally given extreme significance to these two characters, right? Because
Unintentionally.
unintentionally. Because the whole point of the movie is to show how random these two people's meeting was and how big things can happen from little moments, right?
Mhm.
And yet they're the only two people in the film that carry a name. It's giving them importance, right? Like it creates this cosmic. It's just interesting more than anything. Again, love this movie, so I can ramble on forever. I won't. I could.
You won't on here. You will after.
Yeah, you and I will talk about this more as we go along. Oh, something else I was going to mention. Just the fluidity, the editing, and how everything flows from one scene to the next, and it never seems forced. At no point am I ever like, how'd they fit all this in one night? It just kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
And I like how they bring up that they forgot to go see the play, the Bring Me the Horns of Wilmington's Cow, like because I was watching this with my grandmother, and she said they didn't see the play, and then right as she says they forgot to see the play, they mentioned that they forgot to see the play. Like, I think that is really good because, like, you know, normal movies, you set that kind of thing up, it happens, and the audience is like, oh, that's cool. But then, like, to throw the curveball of, oh, we forgot because we were having so much fun. It's just interesting.
Nice.
For those of you wondering, we are going to cover the next two next week.
Yes,
They-
both
they're
the next two next week. So long day. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
but not that long of a day. It's shorter than one.
My
part.
camera briefly freeze for you
It
there
did.
too.
It did.
That was awful.
it
It
was.
frozen over this spot.
It did. But yeah, it's shorter. The next two are shorter films. I think one of them's like an hour and 20. Like they're not very long. But they're equally worthy in my opinion. Their Rotten Tomatoes are a little lower. They're like 98 and 97. But you know what they say. Oh goodness, I can't believe
The Before Midnight is an hour 50.
it's an hour 50.
Hour 49. Yeah.
How long
Before-
is Sunset?
Hour 20.
Okay, Sunset's the one I was thinking of. I was thinking the other one was like an hour and a half. Oh well. We'll just enjoy 3 hours of death. But let's be honest. This is a better 3 hours than most films we watch. I enjoy these kinds of movies. I don't know about you. Like maybe I'm just a cinephile, but at least I know where cinema is. At least they know I know where cinema is, rather.
If they know I know where cinema is. Dear Mr. Ingram. That was awful.
You're terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think they're good movies. Like I really enjoyed this one. Linklater is the author of Grant's favorite film too.
She wasn't friendly. She really wasn't. And she probably, there are people in town, honey, that would have shot her for $5.
And it's interesting because the writing in this movie is good. The writing in Bernie is also incredible because it actually gives the feeling of the small town in the South, murder an old lady, you know, the normal. Like it works.
And if we get to it, I might make you watch Boyhood, which is another one he wrote and directed. He's really good at slice of life pieces.
I would bet for Bernie, I mean, I know they met Bernie, but I bet they took time to go visit the town and meet the people and see what it's like. And
didn't. Well, he's from Texas.
Okay.
They didn't just meet Bernie. Bernie lived with the guy when he got out of prison.
He lived with Jack Black, didn't he? No, Jack Black.
He lived with Linklater.
Yeah. I
remember when
that,
he got out of prison, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Not as funny as Bernie. So the plan for this month, we're going to do the next two of these next week, and then we're going to do Bernie one of the following two, and we haven't decided the fourth one of his films yet. It's either going to be Dazed and Confused or Boyhood, I would think. and that
Yeah.
probably will depend on time more than anything.
Yeah, and we've already. I don't know if we're at the end of this one yet, but we've already got an idea of what we're gonna do next month, which is finally I get to pick, so that's gonna be fun.
By finally, he means I finally told him, Grant, pick something, please. I'm tired of forcing you to watch movies.
Yes, I'm gonna force him to watch movies, although it's not terrible. It's really not.
Yeah. He's gonna make us watch DComs.
Don't spoil it.
Well, I mean, people are gonna have to know what DComs are.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
That
What is
is
the
very
most? Are they still making them? I didn't realize they were still making them.
Yeah, they still make DComs, but they're made for D plus now.
Mhm.
Oh. I don't know that we're at the end of this one either. This movie is just beautiful. It is really like the conversations they have. I can think of a few that I just really love. I like the conversation about how everyone's parents screw them up. Rich people's parents give them too much. Poor people's give them too little.
Oh, I just figured out what the last movie we're gonna do for that is.
Okay.
I just saw it. I didn't realize. Let's see. How many weeks in March are we gonna get? 1, 2.
Grant,
Yeah.
let's finish this review before you start planning
Yep,
next
yep,
month.
yep.
Well,
I already planned it. We're good now.
Okay. Anyway,
Sorry.
so the conversation about how everyone's parents screw them up and it's all kind of how you do things later is important, is interesting to me. I also like in that same scene, he talks about how he's never been anywhere he isn't. He's never been bowling when he wasn't there rolling the ball down the lane. He's never been to a movie where he wasn't there in the audience. Like, and he likens that to why so many people hate themselves, right? Because you never get away.
I've definitely been somewhere and not been there in my mind. I've definitely had that happen before.
Yeah, but you've always been there. That's the thing. It's less that he's never been somewhere where he isn't actively present. It's he's never been somewhere without the experience of having him there. Which is the interesting thing to me. Like, yeah, I've never been anywhere I wasn't. And if I had been, it probably would have been a much more enjoyable life.
So speaking of feelings, during the conversation about their first feelings, Jesse explains to Celine that he had an obsessive relationship with Miss July
July.
1978.
Yep.
Then refers to the playmate as Crystal. The name of Miss July 1978 was not Crystal. Her name was Karen Morton.
And if you're doing Googling, shame on you.
Nobody's here. It doesn't matter.
We're going to edit this and people will be here. So,
No, you're not.
but it doesn't really matter.
But if you
It's
are
still-
here, hello. Glad you're here.
Don't Google it, you sick son of a gun. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a good movie. This is my favorite movie of all time.
It's a good movie. Yeah, for sure.
I say it's my favorite movie of all time, having seen it plenty, knowing it's my favorite movie of all time. Like, just love this movie. It's one of those films you can put on and just enjoy. And like, you don't have to think about it. You can just sit there. It's not loud. It's not bothersome. They're just talking. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. So join us next week when we talk about the sequels. Grant, do you have anything else you want to say before we dip on out of here?
Not really. I mean, it's trying to find stuff to talk about with this movie that we haven't said already, just because
We watched it live.
there's some deep there's some deep parts, but it's also not a super complex movie. Like,
No.
they spend the whole evening talking to each other.
And talking to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good movie. I mean, the writing is very well done. Improvise whoever actually wrote parts of it. Good job. I don't care who. Good job.
I don't care if you got credit or not. Attaboy.
My applause to whoever did it. I can
O.J.
imagine
Simpson. The writers are sitting there wondering if they'll be sitting
O.J.
next to-
Simpson might walk into the writers if he goes back to Los Angeles. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Maybe.
Just gonna throw it out there. But yeah, no, very very well done movie. If he did it, he would have explained how in the book. But
Entitled How I Would Have Done It.
how I would have wrote it. It would have been the very best movie. No movie would ever have been written better.
Donald Trump is not O.J. Simpson,
Yeah.
but he tried.
Are we sure he's not?
Pretty sure. Not 100% sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to find more to say. I mean, the German argument at the beginning was fun.
Where they're arguing over how, like, what is it? 30% of men are addicted to alcohol, and his wife is sitting there like, yeah, like you, and he's like, well, I have a reason to be. I'm married to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, our Instagram just dipped. Oh well. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't disconnect my Instagram for like three attempts, and now it is disconnecting Instagram.
I have no idea.
It's weird.
I just texted you the list of what that last movie is.
Appreciate you thinking on that as we're finishing up here. Yeah.
I only have one thing left to say.
You're welcome.
That is the result of His Majesty's government.
Fact check, true.
Yes.
There's just a lot of interesting things about this movie. I highly recommend. We can't do it justice. You'd have to sit and listen to us talk for 30 minutes in order to find out what these people said in 3 hours.
Yeah, we could try to explain it, or we could be like, it's good, it's very well written, go watch it yourself, because you'll get a better experience than listening to two 21-year-old idiots talking about it. So,
but the thing is, you've had these conversations before, and we know that because we're 20 and 21, and we've had these conversations before. It's interesting, not with each other, but like I definitely have had most of these conversations. In fact, this movie reminds me of a friend that I used to hang out with back when I was in Alabama. It's just those kinds of conversations. Anyway, if you enjoy conversation or lunacy or just morons, pay us. Patreon.com/theculturednerd. You can do that by, giving us money, which thank you. Giving Taylor Murphy money, which also thank you. Or giving everyone and their cousin's uncle money, and we appreciate that too. It does help keep the lights on, or in my case off. It helps pay for all these Amazon Prime rentals we have to do. It helps buy Grant a new type of shaving cream so he can get rid of that ugly beard. It's just really helpful. As always, I've been your host, Grant Ingram.
And I have been your co-host, Grant Skillen. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Jose for the logo, and Taylor, aka Nothing, for the intro.
Mr. Nobody. Thank you, the viewer, for joining us. We know it takes time. We know it takes effort, and we really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this, please give us a little bit more time and effort. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, like Michael Keaton says. Actually, I'm pretty sure he doesn't say much of anything anymore. No, he's still alive. Never mind. Sorry, Michael Keaton. Things I never thought I'd have to say. If you enjoy this content, you can find more of us by scanning that QR code there on the right. This is the 4th week in a row I've had an episode I got to put out there. It'll get done, and I promise. And then if you enjoy The Cultured Nerd, which, let's be honest, you probably do, you can scan that QR code there on the left. Join us next week as we talk about Before Sunset and Before Midnight.
Oui.